again. It is your friendly neighborhood internet shaman, Jessica, Joyfully Jess. And this is the second video of a 3-video series that I'm doing. It's pressed upon me to tell my story, and there's 3 big major parts that I believe the themes are running around right now to be told. So this is part 2. That time I broke a paradigm. Thank you. A paradigm is a human belief system that humans can only do up to this point. That you can only run this many miles in this amount of time. It's only humanly possible to do that. It's a limit of human possibilities. So, breaking a paradigm, it is, it's not just physical. It can be emotional or spiritually, or there's so many different ways to break a paradigm. And this is the day that this is the story of me breaking mine, or a paradigm for humanity. So, breaking a paradigm by seeing Thank You by Joshua Benny. Along with being a tomboy, as I stated in my last video, tomboy. I was a tomboy, and I was a blooming psychic medium. I was seeing and hearing and knowing and all kinds of stuff, but my mom had joined a Pentecostal Christian church, and so a lot of the stuff was discouraged, unless it was by the Holy Spirit. And my mom, she talked to the Holy Spirit a lot, which I find amusing, which, you know, basically says it's heredity. Spiritual communication is heredity, in my case. So, due to that belief that it was only in the churches that it could be real, I went out on a journey of my own. I broke away from the church. I was always very spiritual. I had worked on a personal relationship with God. I always knew that there was some being somewhere, that atheism, to my knowing of it, I knew there was something. I knew there was something. Traditional churches may have been different than my path, but I knew I had faith in a God of some sort. So, out of the church, I started learning about different faiths, different religions, and I also got into paranormal investigating. And I was asking for answers of all kinds, and I started to find them. Now, that's in retrospection, how many answers were coming in the many medium, in all the different ways they were coming to me. They'd been coming for a really long time. Answers to the questions that I had were stepping stones along my path of life. It was there. Looking back, I was like, oh crap, you answered my question when I was 10. But I didn't have the question yet. Because I didn't realize I was that different yet. So, looking back, I have manifested all kinds of answers. So I knew I was special. I knew I had abilities. I knew I was chosen for something. But for what? You ever meet an empath that doesn't feel? Let's just say that it's a unique experience for that individual. I went on a journey to figure out what self-love and self-respect meant to me back in 2014. I went and I was watching all kinds of videos about self-love, self-respect, and about self-compassion, being gentle with yourself. And my daughter started playing this one video this one night, and it was Spirit Science the movie. I think it's like episode 9, 10, 11, or episode 10. Well, it's a longer Spirit Science episode. That's a pretty cool series to start opening your mind to things. And then when I saw the movie, it just clicked. It was a really outside the box way of thinking, and I'm a really outside the box kind of person. What box? There's a box? So I began my journey on that, on learning about chakras and learning about thoughts and feelings, and which brought me to Abraham Hicks and law of attraction. That it talked about other dimensions, the fact that humanity is a lot older than we're led to believe. It just opened up my mind to all kinds of possibilities, and I was like, whoa, okay, this is worth at least, seeing, to read, to find. And on this journey, they gave me somebody to tag along with me, and his name was Rudy. And Rudy and I had a very unique relationship on many levels. We had a lot of frequencies in common. We had a lot in our past in common. I practiced so many law of attraction experiments and relationship experiments on him. He was my first Reiki person. Well, beside myself, I gave myself Reiki to begin with, and then I did it for him. And everything. I practiced crystals on him. I practiced crystals on myself. We were my scapegoat, and then my guinea pigs. We were my guinea pigs. I was learning to feel again, and my chakras were opening and healing and doing all kinds of stuff. It was a really wild time. And then one morning, September 7th, 2015, I got a call and Facebook messages that my dear friend that I love very much had went to another realm of existence. And that single moment, I broke a paradigm. Because instead of the many things I could have said, I said thank you. I love you. I trust you. To the universe, to the source. Because I had faith in my own frequency that something like that was beyond my frequency. It was much lower than my frequency. And that I had to I just knew. I knew that somehow miracles were about to be performed, that things were going to move for me in a way that I had not known before, that there was just going to be something magical that was going to happen. And I was shaking, and the tears were flowing, and I was like, thank you, I love you, I trust you. And then I just thanked the universe for the experience of knowing Rudy, of getting to know him, of that because I knew him, and because we talked so much, the subjects that we talked about, I would later look up. I felt inspired to know more about, and I expanded. I expanded not because of him, but because of the things that we talked about. I took up a curiosity for, and so I wanted to learn more so that I could have better conversations, because I like to talk. So, and a broader understanding and expansions, and I expanded a lot because of the way I felt for him and the way I was learning to feel for me. And so I thanked the universe for that experience, and I thanked and I dug as deep as I could in those moments into appreciation and joy and love. Now, the paradigm states that in those circumstances, there must be this way that you feel, and these are the ways you have to deal with it, and there's no other way. Otherwise, you're just doing damage. And I'm here to tell you, that's a paradigm. So in the days and even weeks that followed, I had seen synchronicities and miracles unlike I had ever known. I can honestly tell you that due to what I am, what I've always been, I really expected to see Rudy straight up on my bed right away. I just did, in some kind of form. I expected it. And technically I had something more. I had my first times of medium communication. Like, there's one thing to have like spirits and stuff manifest around you, and to have the things that I experience, but to have somebody communicating with you, I hadn't realized what that was yet, but within 24 hours it was happening. And so not only was it happening with me, but the universe made miraculous ways for it to happen through other people again and again to confirm what I was hearing in my head. And I went and got books that were talking about psychic mediums, biographies, and this and that. And not only was I learning that I was truly gifted, but that every person had a different story and a different idea of the afterlife. So the idea of heaven is totally dependent on the person. Your afterlife really has to do with your beliefs, and it is so far beyond what the churches tell. And even each little psychic medium that has their story, it's beyond that, because we all have a part of the story, because everybody has a different belief, and our beliefs are so important that they follow us on to the other side, at least for a while. It may end up in the same place eventually, but immediately after leaving here, it's really about what you believe, and you grow and you drop frequencies and you expand. So I really pressed Rudy to tell me where he was and stuff. What place are you at? There's so many stories to go with that. So I began to develop my psychic mediumship, not realizing, as I learned about shamanism, I met more shamans, I realized how much of a shaman I actually am, and how, reflecting back on my life, that there was so many instances that if I had any idea what a shaman was before, the definition of what exactly it is, I would have been like, if I had started out with 15 as like, this is a shaman, I would have been like, oh yeah. And the rest of my life it would have been, that's a shaman trait, and that's a shaman, and that's a so my spiritual journey, my metaphysical journey, my paranormal journeys to what led me so far, all took place. I mean, I had a curiosity about it before him, but him going over there, for the first time, I wanted to be what I am. Before that, I was interested, we'll say, but it became a desire. Let's see, read books about mediums and psychics, appreciating. So, even to this day, I'm still expanding on my abilities, because I desire it. I mean, I'm not gonna say the G word and all these other words that represent lost feelings. I appreciate what I have, and I have a continuing relationship of sorts with somebody in another realm of frequency, that I happen to be a person that can reach there. A person that is sensitive to other realms of frequencies, that I can communicate and I can feel and I can do things with. So the miracles that happened from then on were astounding. And when you step from a negative emotion in a law of attraction way, many people are out there pimping their negative emotions. And when you pimp something, when you promote something, when you speak of it, when you have to relay the message that you are going through this thing, you're giving it momentum and you're pushing it out there. You're allowing it to manifest more and more into your life. So to pimp negative emotions or to promote negative emotions seems kind of anticlimactic. I can tell you that when a negative emotion comes up from me, I have the awareness now to step back. And I do go into appreciation. They say you can't, but I can. That's another paradigm breaking movement. Go from this here, come back, and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciation. Love and appreciation. And you calm down, and you see that you have a desire that's not being met, and that's why you are feeling that emotion. So appreciate that emotional GPS that is showing you where to put that energy towards a desire, towards a solution. When you put it towards the actual problem, you get more of the problem. When you put it towards a solution, you get a solution. And if you step into everything into appreciation, you can see what it is. I desire more attention. I desire more recognition. I desire, I don't know. I desire more money. I desire this or that. Then you say, okay, if I want to desire this more, if I desire this more, that means I am feeling a lack. If I'm feeling a lack, then I'm not in alignment. So I have to step into alignment and realize what I have and appreciate what I have. And my inner being is already vibrating at the frequency of my desire. So if I get into the same alignment as my inner being has, then I feel good. And when I feel good, desires come to me quickly. They are manifested. My desires are manifested for me quickly. So if you can take those moments as a signpost to you instead of a place to express everything you got, take it as a signpost and pimp your solution, promote your solution. Be like, I realize I want this, and so I'm going to vibrate at this frequency. That gives you more momentum towards the solving, towards the manifestation of what you actually want. So, I think that was the big thing, to take your appreciation, step into it, even when humanly you're not supposed to. Step into your appreciation. Your feelings are valuable. They allow you to know where your alignment is. But once you realize, once you have the awareness that you have that emotion, you have an opportunity for a desire to be manifested for you. Alright, well, I am Joyfully Jess, and this is part 2 of my nifty little 3-part series. Law of Attraction, breaking paradigms. So I thank you all that watch, and I thank you, my source, for demonstrating. Thank you, my inner being. Thank you, universe, for such a magical path before me. I thank you for all the love and support and the uncanny manifestations. Like when something big manifests for me, man, there are so many layers and it meets so many frequencies that are just all come together in one big smack. And I'm speechless, and I stand back and I'm like, whoa. I'm awestruck. I'm ineffable. I found the term Yugin. It's a Japanese term that means like appreciation beyond expression, because I'm like, what the? It's like, this is the magic of the universe. This is the power of source energy creating for you. And what the things I've seen, I just wow. So I thank you for watching, and I appreciate my story, and I find extraordinary value to my story, and I've been led to share it so that others may find their way. So thank you, Source, my source, for leading me to do this, for inspiring me to do this, for showing me that I should. And I guess we'll end this for now until tomorrow. Well, later maybe. I don't know. Part 3. Hello. But thank you. Peacock energy, all kinds of energy, horse energy, really, strength, stuff like that, quickness, speed. All right. Thank you. Love, light, and gentleness. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others.